Hi, everyone. Welcome to Astro Insights. It is Sunday morning, just about 10 a.m. here in Central Standard Time, coming to you from Kansas City, Missouri. Uh, welcome to Astro Insights. I'm here to discuss the week ahead with you in astrology. I'm just going to give everybody like one more minute to hop on, and then we will do a proper introduction and get the preview underway. So what have we got this week? We've got the full moon in Cancer. That's the big news this week. Last week, Venus moved into Capricorn. The week before that, Mars moved into Capricorn. Then the Sun moved into Capricorn. This week, Mercury is going to move into Capricorn. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Happy day, friends. Happy Sunday, December 28th. I am Melanie Rose, your host here for Astro Insights here at Rose Tarot Astrology. I'm going to hop right into the astrological preview for the week, after which we will do a 2-card tarot card drawing for the week ahead as well. So today, as of today, this past week, Venus had talks with Uranus and Neptune before moving on into Capricorn. Like I said, it's Mars now, the Sun and Venus in Capricorn. Last Sunday was our winter solstice when the Sun moved into Capricorn. So, how is the first week of this winter treating you, friends? This week, this is a week of culmination as we enter the new year. We're going to close in also on the full moon in Cancer, which happens on the 3rd. So this is a time of year. This is also a time of month to be manifesting abundance. You know, it's not just that Cancer is a sign of abundance, but Jupiter is still in Cancer, and Jupiter in Cancer is very much a sign of abundance. So it's a good time to be manifesting abundance. And what I mean by that is thinking about making the plans, dreaming, imagining, creating what it is that feels like abundance for you, and asking for those things in your life with that full moon in Cancer. This is the time with that full moon in Cancer to be naming what we care about. So as we come through this week and approach next Saturday, which is the full moon in Cancer, be thinking about what it is you actually care about and name it out loud. You know, whether those are people, the loved ones you keep close, or whether it is a cause or a project, or just a principle that you care about. Name what it is that you care about this week as we come to this full moon in Cancer, and attend to your commitments to yourself and others. Okay, Cancer is a very caring sign. It does point us to what it is that we want to nurture. So it's a good time to be nurturing those relationships that we are already, deeply in and committed to. Today is Sunday the 28th. The sun is in Capricorn. The moon is in Aries. And, we're going to have a couple of lunar aspects today. The moon in Aries is going to square Jupiter, which might give us a little bit of a sense of overwhelm in the afternoon sometime today. And also, the moon is later on going to make a trine to Mercury. That's more in the evening, and it's going to be easier to make plans. So if you feel a sense of overwhelm this afternoon and you feel like maybe there's too much pressure to make the plan, too much pressure to know what it is that you need or what you're going to do, that's okay. Give yourself a little bit of time, give yourself a little bit of spaciousness to zoom out and take a look at what you have to plan with, right? And then later on in the afternoon, that trine to Mercury is going to help it look a lot easier for you to set your plans into place and say the things that you need to say. Tomorrow, the moon moves on into Taurus, and that's the 29th of December. The moon moves into Taurus, and that brings our personal life focus around to security and comfort and supply, making sure that you have the stuff you need to feel as though you are physically supported in your home life. Monday through Wednesday, we're going to have the sun in Capricorn and the moon in Taurus. It's a very earthy, practical vibe. On Monday, Mercury has a talk with Saturn. It's a square conversation, so it's a little bit of a stop sign. It's a little bit of putting up a detour sign, for your travel safety, I would say. And I'm saying travel because Mercury does relate to especially the close distance travel, the running around, the errand running that we do. understand that there might be some actual obstacles, understand that there might be some things in traffic, both figuratively and literally, that might slow you down, and just be prepared on Monday to encounter some of those almost like Mercury retrograde moments where it's just like, oh, well, this was your plan, but you're going to have to stop here and do something else because that's what's practical, and then try to move on with your plan. And then on Wednesday, Mercury is also going to make an aspect to have conversation with Uranus. And this is like adjusting the plans we've made to fit the changes that have come along. It's asking us, especially on Wednesday, to be flexible, which is not easy when the sun is in Capricorn and the moon is in Taurus, for us to be flexible. They're very grounded, earthy vibes. It doesn't like to move. It's very slow. It's like trying to turn a ship. Okay. So, you know, trying to embrace some flexibility on Wednesday will serve us well, although it may not be the simplest thing to do. It can seem as though Monday through Wednesday, like we know what we want and it's hard to make progress. So it's almost like the goal is in sight. We're willing to make the effort, but there are obstacles coming up in the way that are sort of slowing our progress. So just don't feel pressured to have it all done at once, or even as quickly as you think it might be. Don't feel pressured to have it all figured out these first few days of the week. Just focus on planning your next step toward your practical greater ambitions and goals. Greater ambitions and goals, being sun in Capricorn, that's where our public life focuses. That's where we are, in our work, social, and civic lives. We're thinking about our greater ambitious goals and what it is that we need to do to achieve them. Okay, so starting the week, we're achieving them with a little bit of understanding that there will be slowdowns and a need for flexibility. It's a good time to plan your next steps. Wednesday, the moon moves on into Gemini, and the personal life focus moves on to more creative sharing and communication. So with the sun in Capricorn and the moon in Gemini, Wednesday through Friday this week, we're communicating our plans and ambitions. We're putting in that due diligence work, that running around, the filing of licenses, or whatever it is that we have to do. Thursday, Mercury has a talk with Neptune. It's another challenging conversation. We have to figure out how to express something that is somewhat mysterious to us, or maybe we don't understand how something is supposed to work out. We have to express that is a mystery for us, and maybe we can call in a little bit of help with that ability to say, oh wait, this is how I'm getting stopped, and I might need a little bit of assistance. Thursday, Mercury is going to move on into Capricorn, where it joins Venus and the Sun and Mars. So things are getting really serious as far as that Capricorn vibe goes. That Capricorn vibe always says, I need mountains to climb. I need problems to solve. I have, an active mind and an active body, and I really want to get things done. And for this first couple of weeks of January, it's a really good time to be making progress and getting done what we can, even though there are stop signs coming up, even though there are little obstacles that get in our way, even though there are things that slow us down. We got to keep our eyes on that bigger prize so that we can make the progress we can while we can, because we're going to have we're going to have some pretty interesting astrology coming up, like the second month into the next year, and it's gonna slow us down. We're gonna have to be reframing and reworking some things as we get through the middle part of next year. So as we enter the year, having this vibration, like we can get things done, like we can do the work, and be diligent and make progress, just really go with that. So we're getting serious. Venus, the Sun, Mars, Mercury in Capricorn. If you're feeling that Capricorn vibe, like, yes, I want to rise to the challenge. I want to go get the thing done. Understand stop signs along the way, but yes, you can make progress at this time. Friday, the moon moves on into Cancer, and that personal life focus comes back around to care and nurture, how we care and nurture ourselves, how we take care of our homes, and how we take care of the people and the other things, people, stuff, entities that we care about at home. So the moon in Cancer just brings that personal life focus back to home. It makes us want to be comfortable in our homes and with the people that we're surrounded with. On Friday, Chiron is going direct, so that is a good time to be healing, to not just to be healing, to be reflecting on the healing that you have done in the past year. And again, we're looking for ways to express it, right? The moon is in Cancer. It was previously in Gemini, but still with that Chiron moving forward in Aries, there's really like, it's not even, you don't even have to find a verbal way to express it, but you want to find a way to express it that is perhaps active, that is perhaps sort of public facing, that says, not that you have to announce it to anybody, just finding a way to show where your healing has come in, where you have changed over the past year, to become more like yourself, more like your best idea of who you are. And then on Saturday, we have that full moon in Cancer, and that is going to bring some intensity. Okay. I encourage you to celebrate with passion, but I also encourage you to be gentle in your expression of the passion. Okay. Because the way things are falling together on Saturday, there are things that we could do or say that can't be undone or unsaid. Okay. That intensity may cause us to express ourselves, if we're not careful, in ways that we can't undo and we might regret. So we want to be really careful about how we express that care, that desire to nurture. We don't want to come across as smothering. We don't want to come across as, I care so much that it doesn't matter what you think, that kind of thing. Okay. The full moon in Cancer, I encourage you to think of this as an emissary of heart, of love and care and nurture, taking care of yourself and others. Let your passionate heart guide you. It can be intense this week. And the moon is going to conjunct Jupiter, okay, on that day. That's part of the way things are falling together. Like I was saying, moon is going to conjunct Jupiter on the day of the full moon. So that's blowing up this whole vibration, making it ever so much more intense about what we care about and how we want to show that. Okay. Blowing up that vibration of care can sometimes, can sometimes help if we can observe ourselves and show and see that we haven't been showing the care that we would like to share. But also it can backfire on us if we overdo it. Okay, so let your passion be your guide, but don't allow yourself to overstate your case, so to speak. It's not how much you care, but how you show it, friends. And this is the first full moon of the year. So this sets the tone for how we are with our loved ones, in our home environment, with the people that we keep close, and with ourselves for the whole year. It is a really good full moon to engage in some self-nurture. Ritual baths are a good time. It's a good time. It's a good time just to clean your body. It's also a good time to take in water or any other kind of nourishment that might be hydrating. It's a good time to cook a nourishing soup that will be good for, you and your loved ones at home. Set the tone for the year. Set the tone of nurture and care for the year with this first full moon in Cancer, which is on January the 3rd, coming up next Saturday. Okay, work for what you love. Capricorn and Cancer, work for what you love, support what you want to nurture. Don't just plant the seeds. Do everything you can to give them the best chance they have to break open and to send up shoots and to blossom and bloom and flower and glow. And then on Sunday, the moon will move on into Leo next Sunday, and will kind of quickly come out of that Cancerian intensity of emotion vibe, and we'll be able to use what we have picked up through this whole week to sort of shine really brightly and give what we give to the world in the way that only we know how. Okay, so that is it for the week. Like I said, Monday through Wednesday, there are stop signs, there are obstacles, and there are also just opportunities to keep your eyes on that bigger prize and keep moving forward. Be diligent in your efforts moving forward. And then, come on Wednesday, we can collaborate, we can share what's on our minds, we can share our plans, we can ask others for help in manifesting the things that we're manifesting this week. And then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we've got that moon in Cancer. We've got the full moon in Cancer Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, that's really about naming what you care about, attending to what you care about, noticing what it is that you have committed yourself to, and giving your time and energy to that. Okay. Putting in the effort, showing the work right now really matters. So I encourage you to do that. Okay, friends, so that is it for this week's astrology. I'm going to move on to the tarot portion of our show, and I got distracted for a moment because I'm being reminded by Jennifer to remind you, if you haven't yet, to please subscribe to this channel. We need about 150 more subscribers to get to 1,000. That would be so exciting for us, and it would make it more possible for us to bring you more free astrological and tarot content and guidance. If we could just get that number up to 1,000. So thank you. If you have not yet subscribed. If you haven't yet subscribed, please go ahead and do it. And of course, like the video, give us a thumbs up, click that notifications bell. We sometimes get on here live without planning ahead. So you definitely want to be able to catch us when we do that. All right. And then we are here every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock so that I can give you the week ahead in astrology, and we can do a tarot card reading as well for the week ahead. And the tarot card reading, the two big things that are happening this weekend are the full moon and Mercury joining 3 other planets in Capricorn. Okay, so we're having a full moon in Cancer, and 3 other planets are going to join the sun opposing that moon. That's what the full moon is. It's an opposition of the sun and moon. They're across the sky from each other, right? The sun on this side is going to be joined by Mercury and Mars and Venus for that full moon. So it's really going to be intense for our personal life. And I definitely want to get a reading on that. So let's first start with the fact that Mercury is joining those other planets in Capricorn. We're getting that Capricorn intensity. This is going to be sort of a both sides now, because Capricorn and Cancer are opposing signs. And so they kind of cover different ends of the same spectrum of sort of work versus care. So full moon no, that's not what I wanted to do. It's Mercury moving on into Capricorn, and that's this Thursday, the very first day of January. And that card is the 10 of Pentacles. I love that. Beautiful. So 10 of Pentacles is about a homecoming, and it is about having the security that you need in your home. That's perfect for this Capricorn full moon, but it's also perfect for the fact that we've got all these personal planets. The sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars are all going to be in Capricorn by the end of the week. And, that just speaks to me of the ultimate expression of personal security. When you've got all these planets together in Capricorn, it's like, I know what I want, and I know what it's going to take to get there. And guess what? I'm also really interested in doing the work to get there. And because of that, I have this ultimate sense of peace and security. Like I have everything that I need around me, a good roof over my head, a solid foundation under my feet, and the family and otherwise support that I need to carry through. So I love that for Mercury moving into Capricorn and joining Sun and Venus and Mars in Capricorn. It's a very heavy Capricorn vibe for us this weekend. It's especially in our personal lives. Okay, that's our the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. They're all personal planets. They have to do with our own personalities and the way we interact with the world. So feeling that sense of confidence, that sense of solidity and foundation. I really love that for us. I think it's going to be something that we can lean on as we go through the week in moments of uncertainty. Just remember, you have all the resources that you need at your disposal. You know what you want, and you actually can get it, can go and get it. Okay. So then the other one is for the full moon in Cancer, which opposes those 4 planets in Capricorn. And that full moon in Cancer is also going to conjunct Jupiter that day. So conjuncting Jupiter in Cancer. It's such a lucky full moon. It's really big on blessings, really big on potential for blessings, for windfall of all kinds, not just monetary, but also like emotional windfall, or just, you know, feeling like you've got it all, or feeling like you have, feeling like you can take care of and nurture the things that you are committed to, without any issue, hopefully. So the full moon in Cancer, the card for that is Temperance. Oh, I love it. I love it. So Temperance, I like the Temperance card for the full moon in Cancer because it's a very watery card. You see the Temperance has 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on the ground. And the Temperance is also doing this kind of wacky thing with water between the cups. And what that says is, you know, when we walk the middle ground, when we don't try to be too hard or too soft, too happy or too grumpy, when we don't try to be too high or too low, we don't try to be all of one thing or all of another thing. When we walk right down the middle path, you know, then we have a facility. We have you know, the ability to manage these resources, whether they're emotional resources or intellectual resources or physical resources. We have the ability to manage these resources in an almost magical way, as long as we don't go to extremes of any kind. And that was part of my message with the full moon in Cancer, is like, it can feel very intense, and it's important to try not to go to extremes. So remember moderation with this full moon in Cancer coming up on Saturday. Remember, you know, just to, like, I know what the extremes are and I know what I could possibly do, but I'm gonna pull back and I'm gonna be moderate. And together with that, and this sense of security I have from having a very heavy Capricorn sky this week, I think is going to pull us through this week and into the new year with a really profound sense of stability and balance and capability, to take on 2026, friends. Okay, friends, that is it for today. We got the full moon card is the Temperance card, and the Mercury in Capricorn card is the Ten of Pentacles card. Security and moderation. Security and moderation, friends. So, like I said, please subscribe if you haven't already, because we're trying to get up to 1,000 and we just have a few more that we need to get. So please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Again, like I said, thumbs up, give us a like, click the notification bell so you know when we're on. We are definitely on. I am definitely on here Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock every Sunday to give you the week ahead in astrology and a little bit of encouragement from the tarot cards as well. I appreciate you. I thank you so much. I love all of you who watch me regularly, and I appreciate all of you who are just showing up too. And I will catch you all in the next video. Mwah.